Lawmakers are urging PhilHealth to review its circular on the temporary suspension of claim payments to some hospitals. The long overdue special risk allowance of some health workers will be issued starting tomorrow, according to the DOH. President Duterte has agreed to run for vice president in the upcoming 2022 elections, according to the PDP-Laban party. Malacanang has defended its planned 28 billion peso funding for the government's anti-insurgency task force under the proposed national budget for 2022. And in sports, Team Philippines is all set for the opening of the 2020 Tokyo Paralympics this evening. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Sean Yao. LGUs are racing against time to contain the spread of the more transmissible Delta COVID-19 variant. Let's talk more about that with contact tracing czar and Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong, who joins us now over the phone. Mayor Magalong, good evening. Thanks for joining us. How are contact tracing efforts going? Yeah, especially in areas that have reported Delta variant cases.
Hi, Sean. Good afternoon, and to our televiewers. Right now, we only have one Delta variant that was officially declared. But looking at our link analysis, it looks like potentially we have about 86 who are considered as close contacts. And if you're looking at the 10% positivity rate, we're looking at about 8 that are potentially infected with the same variant.
All right. With regard to contact tracing first, though, Mayor Magalong, I just want to ask if at this point in our fight against the Delta variant of COVID-19, if we do have enough contact tracers nationwide?
Well, right now there was an effort of the ILG to secure some funds for the extension of the 15,000 contact tracers that were reinstated last January. So thank you to the ILG, but that is not enough to cope up with this, present surge. Actually, we have daily higher cases than what we experienced in April.
Right. So what is the plan with that moving forward? Are you going to ask for more contact tracer? Are we bringing this online? What's the game plan, sir?
Well, it took us some time to secure some funds, and I don't think we'll be able to secure more funds unless Bayanihan 3 will be approved. So we have to deal with the 15,000 at present. So it's up to the local government to innovate and come up with some solutions at the local level.
All right, thank you for answering that, sir. In Baguio City, how many reported Delta cases? You mentioned there is one case. Have you already confirmed community transmission there of the Delta COVID variant at least?
Well, we were able to isolate immediately the first case, but looking at the link analysis, we have some of the close contacts who traveled to provinces of Benguet and Pangasinan, and one particular contact also traveled to Manila, so we're doing a follow-up investigation. And so far, we haven't heard any feedback coming from the different CESU or MESUs or RESUs that there were positive cases as a result of those visits by these close contacts.
Right. Quick check of how hospitals and health workers up in Baguio City are doing.
Well, we have some cases of we have several breakthrough cases, especially in some of our hospitals, particularly the Baguio General Hospital. But the good news is their viral load is low, and they have a high CT value. That's why in just a matter of days, 6 days, 7 days, they can go back and work again.
Right, very good to hear. Thank you, and stay safe. Thank you so much for taking our call. That was Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong on the line. All right, and Hong Kong-bound OFWs trooped over to the Bureau of Quarantine in Manila to claim their COVID-19 vaccination certificates. But as early as now, slots for the yellow card application are already full. JC Cosco with a report.
Long lines greeted OFWs who are trying to secure their COVID-19 vaccination certificates at the Bureau of Quarantine. Many of them are bound for Hong Kong. The Special Administrative Region recently allowed the entry of OFWs with valid COVID-19 vaccination certificates. Among those who lined up is 38-year-old domestic helper Zaren Dolores, who came all the way from San Pablo, Laguna.
Mabilis naman pagkukuha ng certificate. Nabalita namin sa Hong Kong agency namin.
Ano pong sinabi sa inyo?
Kailangan namin asap pa-yellow card para makarating kami sa Hong Kong.
41-year-old Arabella Basilio, another Hong Kong OFW, also had her appointment today.
Work daw po sa Hong Kong. Dapat September 21 pa ang schedule ko. Kaya lang may kami ticket, kaya pinayagan kami makakuha kaagad.
The Bureau of Quarantine said that appointments are being done online via boq.pisopay.com.ph. Aside from personal details, applicants will also be asked to provide their COVID-19 vaccination information. They will then have to pay 370 pesos for the yellow card or the international certificate for vaccination. But as early as now, slots have been filled up. The next available schedule for booking will be in December.
We can only accommodate so much, pero if you have a definite naman na date of departure, you can present your ticket. We can adjust to that just as long as you present it 3 days before the scheduled flight. We can arrange something so in order for us to be able to extract your details, and we can give you and we can issue you your certificate.
Only around 500 to 600 applicants will be accommodated at BOQ's main office in Manila, while 200 others may schedule an appointment at the SM Mall of Asia. The Bureau is planning to add satellite offices to accommodate more OFWs.
This is for the safety of all people. So we practice social distancing and safety for all our clients that are applying for the ICV. The Hong Kong government gave us a format, yung certificate that will go along with it, that will certify that we certify and acknowledge yung vaccination of the individual. That will include all the pertinent details.
The Labor Department earlier said around 3,000 OFWs stand to benefit from this. The Hong Kong government earlier refused to recognize the vaccination certificates issued by different LGUs. In the meantime, Dole said the Hong Kong-bound OFWs will undergo quarantine in specified hotels with costs to be shouldered by their employers. The HK government is currently coordinating with partner hotels for this. For News 5, JC Cosico, We Are One News.
We'll have more stories after this quick break. Keep it here. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Lawmakers are urging PhilHealth to review and possibly suspend a circular that is seen to cause further delays in its payment of hospital claims. Maan Enriquez with the story.
Bayaran mo yung hinihingi ng mga nurses, both in government and those outside of government na volunteer.
This was President Duterte's order to the Health and Budget Departments during his public address last weekend. Duterte gave the DBM 10 days to allocate funding for the special risk allowances of more medical frontliners. 3 days later, the DOH said they may be ready to start distributing the SRAs starting tomorrow.
Karamihan ng ating private healthcare workers, about 20,156, no? 311 million. So within the day. So hopefully by tomorrow we can start implementing this.
The DBM confirmed this, saying they have obtained funds from the Miscellaneous Personal Benefits Fund.
In-evaluate over the weekend yon, pupunta sa akin para i-review. Tapos kung okay na, di gagawa na ng release document yon.
But a nurses group said the government's target of 20,000 beneficiaries won't be enough.
Magandang balita yon, pero sana gawa ng paraan na lahat ng health workers ay mabigyan.
Under an administrative order, those who are directly exposed to COVID-19 patients will get 5,000 pesos per month. But lawmakers insisted that all HCWs deployed in hospitals should receive the allowance. The DOH said over 300,000 personnel have already received their SRAs from September 2020 to June 2021. However, Representative Stella Kimbo insisted that the target should stand at around 500,000. A group of HCWs reiterated their warning to carry out mass resignations and protests if this will not be fulfilled.
Pero kung igigiit ng DOH yung kanilang position diyan, mukhang magkaroon talaga ng problema. Kikilos kami ma'am kung hindi nila ibibigay yan.
Meanwhile, some lawmakers questioned the timing of PhilHealth circular on temporary suspension of payment of claims. They approved Nueva Ecija Representative Estela Swansing's motion calling on PhilHealth to review and possibly suspend the circular.
This is not the right time to come up with this circular.
PhilHealth previously said that payouts will only be suspended for hospitals with fraudulent claims. But the Philippine Hospital Association said it's only a tactic to further delay the payment of claims. For News 5, Marian Enriquez, we are One News.
All right, let's take a quick look now at today's other top stories. Malacanang says that the proposed 28 billion peso budget of the NTF-ELCAC for 2022 is still in line with the government's pandemic response. In his briefing today, spokesman Harry Roque said the planned projects under the task force's budget will help address hunger, which he claimed was the main reason why poor people rebel. In sports, the 2020 Paralympic Games has opened in Tokyo. The country's 5 athletes, swimmers Gary Bahino and Ernie Gawilan, wheelchair racer Gerald Mangliwan, discus thrower Jeanette Aceveda, and taekwondo Jin Alain Ganapin are all set for the Games. Powerlifter Ashel Guion will not be able to compete after testing positive for COVID-19, along with her coach and 2 other members of the delegation. And the first trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home is out. Tom Holland returns as the friendly neighborhood hero, while old villains Dr. Octopus and Green Goblin will be back as well. The film swings into U.S. theaters on December 17. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Masks on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.